Espoo, hello international Espoo residents. Welcome to this event, to which I warmly welcome you on behalf of the city of Espoo. This is the second time we're organizing this kind of a Hello Espoo event. Last year was the first one, together with Aalto University and VTT, Technical Research Center of Finland. We organized this event in Tapiola in the VG Exhibition Center. And this year, as we all know, due to the current circumstances with the COVID, we decided to organize this event on Teams in order to make sure that everyone is able to stay safe, but still get the information about what the city of Espoo can offer to you. Upon registration, we asked you some questions about your backgrounds, and it's quite interesting information we got from you. About 35% of you are newcomers, so you have been living in Espoo for less than a year. 29 who have been living in Espoo for 1 to 5 years, and there are also a lot of participants here joining us today who actually don't at the moment live in Espoo, but hopefully will in the future do so. Also, we even have a participant from all the way from Irving, Texas, our sister city. So this is really, really amazing. I also urge you to introduce yourselves to each other on the chat box. There is a possibility to write a short introduction of yourself. If you want, you can also share a link to your LinkedIn profile. My name is Arni-Harden. I will be your host today. I'm working at the City of Espoo as the project manager for Talent Espoo, and together with a wonderful team, Annika, Zama, Hanna, Mari and Na, we have been having a great deal of fun organizing this event and are really happy to have all the speakers with us today. So there is definitely some excitement in the air here in our little studio. We're all set to tell you more about what the city can offer for you. There's one more question we would like to ask you before we get into the actual topic of the day. So we are going to be talking about the city of Espoo, a cultural and learning and active city for you. And I think now in the chat box there should be a link to this viestiseina.com/Espoo. If you click on that one and open another browser, you could then next click on the word cloud, and there you would have the opportunity to give us some insight to your hobbies and interests, just to get to know each other a little bit better. That who do we have here, all in all, online? What kinds of interests you might share? It can be anything. It can be dancing or cooking or doing sports, music, football, or even something a bit more unusual. That would be interesting to know. And then as soon as my colleagues tell me that there are some results, we will reveal them, and I'm as excited as everyone else to see what kinds of interesting things you people are active in. For myself, this year, at this time of the year, going to the mushroom forest is my thing. But now, where do I see the actual results? I think you have a better view of what kinds of what the word cloud looks like. If I'm looking at my colleague's screen here, reading, wow, well, this is a cultural bunch of people. There's gardening, table tennis, yoga, languages, gym in the parks. Oh, that's a nice one as well. Cooking, walking, bicycling. Wonderful, but it seems like really into reading you all are. Well, that's wonderful to hear, and it does sound suitable for the topic of the day, because we are talking about cultural activities as well. So thanks for sharing all that information. Next, we would like to introduce Tuula Antola to you. Tuula is our Director for Economic Affairs, and let's see, I think we'll soon be getting her on the screen, and I will then give the floor to Tuula, please.
Hello, Espoo international residents. We warmly welcome you to the Hello Espoo event. As you know, Espoo is a diverse city and a home of 150 nationalities. With the increasing international population in Espoo, the city strives to provide the best possible services to each and every citizen, while hoping to also enhance international residents' sense of belonging and make Espoo feel like home. The Hello Espoo event is an openly and fairly place for you to explore city services, Finnish culture, and much more, this time in English. Hopefully you enjoy the event. Let's create Espoo story together.
Wonderful. Next, I will tell a little bit more about some basic facts about the city of Espoo. Some numbers in the next slide. As you might know, we are the second largest city in Finland, with nearly 300,000 residents. We have the land area is over 500 square kilometers, and our birthday, we just celebrated in the end of August our birthday, and now my math is not good enough to say how many years exactly, but quite old. We're of mature age. An important number that is actually was missing from there is the number of islands. We have more islands than Hawaii, I think around 150. So that's a fun fact for you. But as you hopefully have already experienced, city of Espoo is the safest city in Finland, and Finland being one of the safest countries in the world, you are living in a very safe place, as well as happy. And I truly hope that you can testify to this fact. It is also a city that attracts talent. 52% of over 25-year-old Espoo residents hold a university degree. So we are truly an intelligent city. About in the next slide, a picture to give you an overview of the unique structure of our city. So usually there are city centers, but Espoo is actually a network of 5 different city centers, and connected by the metro very nicely to the capital city of Helsinki as well. We are a very multilingual city, well, country as well, I guess. We have about 75, so 75% of our citizens are Finnish speakers, but then speakers of other languages make up almost a fifth of the population. And this number will be increasing in the years to come. And Swedish speakers are just a tad below 7% of the total. a very international city. We have over 150 nationalities living here in Espoo. And I think to conclude this kind of like general information about the city of Espoo, I would like to emphasize what I hope already was clear in Tuula's message, that we definitely want to provide the best public services to the international residents of our city. So this was a quick overview for especially those of you who are newcomers to our city. And we definitely want to make Espoo a home for you. And based on the information you provided us in advance, which was really helpful for us, we are happy to see that you have great interest to know more about the topics of culture and sports and the youth activities that the city can offer. And no surprise that the Finnish education system seems to be of great interest to many. So today we have a very nice lineup of city specialists from the city organization, giving you an overview of the topics of the day. Just to set the kind of like expectation level, we have a limited amount of time today. So what we are hoping to be able to do today is give you the overview and provide also in the chat box links to sources for further information. And in the end, we will have a Q&A session. So please be active on the chat box as well, and we hope to get some questions that we can then look into after we have heard the presentations from the speakers. As we have a limited amount of time, we won't be able to most likely answer all of the questions, which is why I recommend that you follow the Facebook group, the Hello Espoo Facebook group, because that is a great source of information for all kinds of information about what's happening in the city. And that is the place we will be then providing answers to those questions we are not able to address today. So, without further ado, we will move on to the next or the first official speaker, Elina Harlas. She is the service coordinator of the cultural unit, and now I give the floor to Elina.
Espoon kulttuuri on tosi jees.
Kirjasto on kaikkien paikka. Tänne voi tulla ihan kuka tahansa, ikään, taustaan katsomatta.
No totta kai sellusali, missä työskentelen.
Tää VG on ihan mieletön. Kyllä toi talomuseo Glims.
Espoossa se on kyllä toi Kino Tapiola.
Mä luulen, että Espoon kulttuuri on jonkinlaisessa nousukiidossa.
Se on erittäin laadukas ja monipuolinen.
Kansainvälinen.
Väldigt kundvänligt.
Awesome and fun.
Se on lähellä ja auttaa näkemään kauas.
Me yleensä suunnitellaan kaupunkilaisten kanssa yhdessä erilaisia projekteja, joihin he saa sitten eri tavoin osallistua.
Se aika, jolloin kulttuuria tehdään ylhäältä massoille, on ohi, että yhä enemmän me tullaan menemään siihen, että ihmiset itse osallistuu ja vaikuttaa siihen, millaista kulttuuria halutaan.
Hello everyone. My name is Elina Harlas and I work in Espoo's cultural unit. Espoo is a home for internationally known museums and art institutions such as Espoo Modern Art Museum Emma and Espoo International Theatre. Espoo also has a really high quality children's theatres that produce high quality performances. So let's have the first slide, please. Cultural unit aims to deliver services for the residents with the residents as it's written in the Espoo strategy, Espoo story. We also recognize that the fact that art and culture is part of our well-being. So cultural unit manages a number of schemes that makes it easier for the residents to take part in and enjoy the arts. For example, we have culture clinics that run at the Neuvolas child welfare clinics, reminding parents, for example, about the importance of reading to your child starting from very young age. And then there is a scheme called Culture Companion that connects you with a volunteer to come with you to see a show or concert to make it easier and more accessible to try something new and see what the arts in Espoo are actually about. So let's go forward with the slides, please. So what Espoo has also developed for the kids is a unique arts education plan that runs through from the daycare all the way through the school. Culture Call, which is taking place at the daycare centers in Espoo, is a project that brings art professionals into the daycare centers to perform activities and or performances planned for the children. And this is all part of the early childhood education. And then we have ULPS, which on the other hand takes preschool and school pupils out from the classrooms into the art venues and theaters during their school day together with their teachers. So this way we ensure that everyone gets into the arts because it's incorporated into their school days. And the program also allows diverse learning environments and supports teachers in their carrying out the national curriculum at schools. And also in CALPS, you can find a selection of sports activities that are available in Espoo, and my colleague will tell you about those later. So next slide, please. Yes, about activities and hobbies. You can search those from harrastushaku.fi. Unfortunately, it's not in English, but the content is in English, so you can just pick English there and then it'll be in English. It's a search engine that covers all the metropolitan area, Espoo, Helsinki, Vantaa, so you can find a lot of things from there. Also, youth and sports services in Espoo have a lot of activities where you can choose from a hobby for your child or young people. And also about this, I'm sure you will be hearing more later. Espoo is also very famous for our high quality institutions that offer basic education in the arts. This is also something very Finnish. These non-profit organizations held their entrance exams in every spring, aiming for students to start in autumn. And the art forms in these institutions vary from music, dance, theatre to circus and architecture. So that's definitely something very interesting and recommendable. Another place to look for activities and things to do is definitely libraries. And that takes us to the next slide. Thank you. So Finland is among the top countries in the world in terms of literacy and education. And the Finnish public library system is one of the most advanced and admired in the world. And actually, Espoo's library system was awarded a worldwide recognition a couple of years ago. So as it was earlier, came up that you like reading, so you are in a good place now. So also, it's not only about lending books in libraries in Espoo. They offer, for example, for these 4 libraries up here, Entresse, Sello, Iso-Omena and Tapiola, they offer makerspaces where you can work on your own crafts and creations. And all these libraries, not only these 4, but every library in Espoo has very active diary of events and courses on learning different topics, such as to play ukulele or language cafes to learn a new language or improve another, you already know. So that's something to look from helmet.fi sites. So Espoo City Museum, based in Exhibition Center VG in Tapiola, has a permanent exhibition about the history of Espoo. And that's definitely something to go and see. It's free for everyone. And then there is 4 other units of museum in Espoo. So these first 2, Glimpse and Antola, they are outdoor museums, so they are very good for these times. But unfortunately, Antola has finished the season for this year. It'll be open again in springtime. And then there is Villa Museum, Villa Rullud and Hyljelahti, and Lagstad School Museum, which is close to Espoo Keskus. There's actually, the building is the oldest elementary school in Espoo, and it dates back to 1873, so very interesting history there. And then we have Espoo's event services. Event services manage a number of cultural venues in Espoo, which are all listed in here. And these venues have very rich program that you can find online. And I have to mention one annual event taking place in the first weekend of October, which is in a week's time. There's a children's art festival, Kutitus, in the cultural center in Tapiola. And my tip for the festival is to go and see Espoo City Orchestra Tapiola Sinfonietta to perform a live performance of orchestra show called The Lost Key, which is aimed for the young audiences and is actually based on a children's book. The City Orchestra Tapiola Sinfonietta is also part of Espoo's cultural service, and they are really good doing good work with engaging children and young people with their work. So that's definitely something you could check out as well. And on top of these events, produce 2 annual events. Finnish Independence Day concert, which is where the tickets are always free. Last year they were given out, distributed in the libraries around Espoo, and I'm guessing that will be the way it's distributed this year as well. And then there is Espoo Day, which is a day when everyone can actually organize their own event, local people, organizations and groups. And all the information regarding Espoo Day, that's the birthday actually mentioned earlier, Espoo's birthday, you can find on social media and online, espooday.fi. That's all from me for now. Thank you. There are some links and my email if you have any more questions. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Elina, for this interesting information. So when you live in Espoo and hunger for culture or love to exercise, you don't have to go far. And when it comes to sports, you can indulge in all kinds of sports, regardless of your age or wealth. And this is where I invite to the stage Camilo Miettinen. He is the youth sports coordinator for the city of Espoo with an international background himself, being a Colombian-born Finn, and actually has a background in professional ice hockey. So he will be now next taking the screen to share information about the opportunities for sport and exercise in Espoo. So the floor is yours, Camilo.
Welcome on my behalf too. I'm Camilo Miettinen, Youth Sports Coordinator city of Espoo. I'm here to tell you a little bit facts from our sports service and a little bit of clubs of Espoo. We have approximately 300 clubs around Espoo with 40 different kind of sports, and under 20 years old members we have around 50,000. And we also have we have very successful clubs in many sports in Finland and also in the international level too. And we can go to next one. A little bit about activities for free of charge, and we have them to children, youth, and families, and I'm going to go through them by age groups for you. So we have this Töpinät. We have 10 groups. It's for 2 to 8 year old children with their families, and it's 2 to 3 times a month, every Sunday, different places around Espoo. And then we have WOW groups, and we have 95 groups overall, and they are for the first to 4th grade students. And the groups are once a week, and they are at the schools basically. And now the new one is for 5th to 6th grade students, and the hobbies are right after schools. Right now we have 8 groups in 8 different schools, and it's once a week as well. For teenagers we have Jumppi, 13 to 18 year olds, and it's once a week, and it's at schools or clubs facilities or running by companies, and they can be whatever day or evening that the week. And all these groups are coached by a professional coaches by clubs. Next one. Yes. Then we have this Wednesday afternoons, and it's for secondary school students, 13 to 16 year olds, and we have all the schools end their school day at 2:30 on Wednesdays, and the students that aim high in sports and play for the clubs, they have their practice right after the schools. And we also have many groups for teenagers that just want to find a new hobby or have quit their hobby and try to find something new, because of the dropout age in Finland is basically on that age, starting 12 to 13. So that's very important for us. The thing is that you don't have to commitment. You can go every Wednesday, different groups, different sports, and find a way what would be a good one for you. It's also coached by clubs, and we have 19 different sports on this with 31 clubs, and also the facilities are at schools. Some of them are at the clubs facilities, companies. We have tennis halls, fencing halls, gyms, and many different, I would say, for me, exciting sports to try, like cricket, skating, karate, etc. And also for Wednesday afternoons, we have 16 hobbies from the youth center activities that Ville is going to tell you about. And it's also, these groups are free of charge, and they are very easy way to jump in to the club. After you like some sport, you go, and there is a coach by a club, and it's very easy way to jump in to some sports. Where to find is the harrastushaku.fi, and the keywords, they are in Finnish here. Töpinät, WOW, Jumppi, and this last one is pretty tough. yläkoululaisille. It's the Wednesday afternoon, but you can also find in English by name of sport in case you want to find some football. You write there football, and it's gonna give you all the groups that are in football. Contacts and time and places are founded there, and also always contact. And in case you have something to ask, you can call that number, or you can call to me in case any questions of sports. That's my part. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Camilo. So what a great variety of sporting and fitness activities we have in the city of Espoo, and of course exercise groups for women, men, seniors, special groups, and in addition to young people and children. And as Camilo already gave a hint, we will be having more information about things that the youth in Espoo can do, those who are under 30 years of age. So I will now give the screen over to Ville Leino. He is the planner for the youth department of the city of Espoo.
Okay, good afternoon on my behalf also. My name is Ville Leino, and I work as a planner for the youth department of Espoo. And the video you just saw was made by young people. So it was written by young people, directed, shot, edited, and so on. Everything was made by young people, and that's basically that gives you an idea of the things we aim to do here at Youth Services. We aim to give young people a safe space to try and learn new stuff. So that's all we are about. And here on this slide, you can see our vision. And our vision is that Espoo is the youth-friendliest city in Finland. And now I will tell you a bit more about the aims we So here on this slide, you can see the cornerstones of our work. Our main focus group is from 12 to 17 years old young people, but we also have hobby groups for younger people up from 9 years old. We have 20 youth clubs all around Espoo, 16 if you say like normal youth clubs, so to speak, and 4 more specialized ones. We also do outreach and detached youth work, and we also have Ohjaamotalo that offers services for young people who are older than 16 years old, and it's mainly about getting work, where to study, what to do when you move out from home, stuff like that. Can I get the next slide, please? Thank you. Yeah, like I already said, we aim to do everything with young people and in a safe environment. And we do a lot of things with young people. Participation is a big deal for us. And for that, we have two citywide projects. We have Miettinen, which is a participatory budgeting program that is done in cooperation with schools. And we also have Youth Council of Espoo, and there's 40 young people in that, and they do all the politics stuff in Espoo, and there's an election every 2 years for that. There's a mobile youth work that we do. We have a van that drives around Espoo and offers services to young people who are in remote areas, for example, and also young people can send a WhatsApp and ask if the van could come to their spots. So that's a service that we offer also. We also work in cooperation with schools and also with NGOs. And for example, we offer a low threshold financing for NGOs if we do like cooperation with them. So it's a really simple way to achieve funding for an NGO if you are into that. That's a hint. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff to do here in this photo. There are some young people who are working on their mopeds. So that's one specialty thing that we do. And besides that, we have cultural youth work. So we organize events. We have music-based activities and theater and arts-based activities. Also, we do digital youth work. We now have a project going on that deals with esports and e-gaming, and we're trying to develop that further. And then we have opportunities to do handicrafts, and also we do international youth work. And I want to give an example of that. We just had our Erasmus Plus application accepted. And we got young people wrote an application and they got money to work with Turkish young people. And it's about oceans and how to keep oceans clean. So that's one thing also that we do. Yeah, we have every person who works for us is a trained professional, and it's a really important thing for us. And the things we also do with those young people who need something extra. We have gender-sensitive youth work for girls. We do work with LGBTIQ young people and also with handicapped young people. We have workshops for young people who are outside of work or education, and basically offer a lot of support for young people who may need it. And it's all for free and it's all done by professionals. So I'm really proud of the work we do here at Youth Services of Espoo. So that's my slot. Thank you for listening, and have a great time in Espoo.
Thank you so much, Ville. This was really inspiring. Love the video that the youngsters have done for us. Next, we move on to education, which is more important than ever in everyone's lives. In Espoo, there are learning opportunities in English provided from early childhood all the way to higher education. Let's start with the exploration of the early childhood education in Espoo, and then I welcome Lehtinen to the screen. She's the Early Education Service Counsellor at the city of Espoo. The screen is yours.
Olennaista on Espoossa tietenkin se, että kaikki lapset on tervetulleita varhaiskasvatukseen ja kaikki toiminta tapahtuu leikin kautta. Siellä lapsen vertaisryhmässä, lapsen omassa semmoisessa leikkimaailmassa. Lasten mielenkiinnon kohteista rakennetaan erilaisia projekteja, joissa leikitään, lauletaan, maalataan. Kaikki liittyy yhteen ja kaikki liittyy toisiinsa. Ulkona oppimisen lisääntyminen ja tämän liikunnallisen, pedagogisen toiminnan lisääntyminen ulkona On tällä hetkellä meidän tämmöinen tulostavoite. Siinä liikkuminen on kyllä aika keskeisessä roolissa. Espoon tarinan mukaisesti me edistetään asiakaslähtöisyyttä, oikeudenmukaisuutta ja vastuullisuutta. Ja Espoo haluaa olla edelläkävijä. Se tarkoittaa tietenkin sitä, että me pyritään olemaan koko aika kansainvälisestikin ajan hermolla. Me halutaan uudistaa ja kehittää meidän toimintaa. Me halutaan, että meidän varhaiskasvatus on laadukasta ja meidän toiminta on sellaista, että se on myös kansainvälisesti niin kuin esittelykelpoista. Mä näen, että Espoossa on kansainvälisestikin ajateltuna todella ammattitaitoista porukkaa. Me satsataan työntekijöiden koulutukseen. Mun mielestä meillä on kehittämismyönteinen ilmapiiri täällä ja hyvä työilmapiiri. Kyllä mä itse näen, että edelläkävijyys on ensisijaisesti sitä, että uskaltaa kokeilla uusia asioita ja tehdä asioita uudella tavalla.
Musta tuntuu, että täällä Espoossa vanhemmat saa tosi paljon vaikuttaa siihen, että minkälaiseksi lasten päivät täällä muodostuu ja ylipäätään minkälaiseksi se kasvatuskumppanuus täällä muodostuu. Erityisesti tämä luonto on lähellä mun sydäntä. Musta se on ihanaa, että lapset käy tuossa lähimetsässä retkellä, syömässä eväitä ja katselemassa, miten luonto muuttuu. Ja se, että täällä on lapsia monista eri kulttuureista, niin kasvattaa mun mielestä mun omat lapset myöskin näkemään maailmaa vähän monimuotoisemmin.
Mä oon onnistunut silloin, kun tuntui, että lapsi usko ja luota ja tuntui turvallinen minun kanssani. Myös se, että se kasvatuskumppanuus toimi vanhempien kanssa, että ne luottaa, osaa antaa palautetta ja positiivista palautetta, että mulle tuli tosi onnistunut olo. Olen sitä mieltä, että teemme maailman parasta työtä.
No, kaikista tärkeintähän on, että lapset saa kasvaa täällä turvallisessa ja positiivisessa ilmapiirissä ja vanhemmat on tyytyväisiä siihen työhön, mitä me täällä lasten kanssa tehdään. Mutta kyllä mä kuitenkin näen, että yksi tärkein varhaiskasvatuksen tehtävä on myös se tarjota sellaiset tasaiset eväät elämään, että kaikki lapset on käynyt sen saman polun. Vanhemmat myös saisi olla niinku osallisena siihen oman lapsensa kasvuun ja siihen yhteistyöhön, jota meillä on. Ja me pystyttäisiin niinku tekemään semmoista hyvää dialogia vanhempien ja kasvattajien välillä. Ja myös toki niin, missä lapsi itse voi vaikuttaa siihen omaan kasvuun ja kehitykseen ja siihen omaan varhaiskasvatuspäivään.
Musta on ihana tuoda tänne lapsi hoitoon, koska mä tiedän, että hänestä pidetään täällä tosi hyvää huolta.
Hello everyone. I'm so happy you are here with me today and with all of us. So let's have a look at the options we have in early childhood education. There are many choices for the guardians to apply for their child in early childhood education under school age and pre-primary education for children at the year they turn to 6 years old. Espoo arranges early childhood education at daycare centers that are from 2 groups and up, like to 8 or more groups in the unit. And group family daycare centers that contains of like 8 or 12 children in the unit. And in family daycare, where nursery nurses work at their own home with maximum 4 children in their group. And also, open early childhood education services provide the alternative to traditional daycare. They give parents the chance to meet other families and allow their children to make new friends and practice important social skills together with other children. So the guardians can choose to use the open early childhood education services at residence parks or open daycare centers with their child. Club activities are available for 2 to 5-year-old children who are in home care. For noticing that there are also many private early childhood education places in Espoo, and parents may receive a private daycare allowance and the related municipal supplement. And parents can care their children at home and may receive a child home care allowance for under 3 years old child. So this was quick, but everything to start with, starting from applying and so on, will be at espoo.fi website, and you are warmly welcome to contact us by email or call us. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mia, for a very cheerful presentation. Yes, and we continue on the topic of education, which has been recognized on many forums as one of the best in the world. For example, Espoo has received this UNESCO Learning City Award for its accomplishments in enabling and pioneering lifelong learning. Now, next on stage, we will have the principal at the Espoo International School, Anne-Marie Rapo, telling us about the Finnish education system and about the opportunities for learning in English in Espoo. Please, Anne-Marie, the floor is yours.
Painin koulussa toteutettiin syksyllä monialainen oppimiskokonaisuus, jossa eri luokka-asteiden oppilaat saivat valita oman ryhmän yhteisen mielenkiinnon kohteen mukaan. Ryhmän sisällä oppilaat saivat valita oman lähestymistavan aiheeseen ja toteuttaa lähestymistapaa käyttäen jonkinlaisen projektin. Erityisesti oppilaat ovat tykänneet siitä, että he ovat saaneet itse valita oman lähestymistapansa ja oppia samaan näitä laaja-alaisia taitoja, mitä myös uudessa opetussuunnitelmassa painotetaan.
Good afternoon, everyone, and greetings from Espoo Schools. I'm Anne-Marie Rapo, the principal of Espoo International School, which is an international English language comprehensive school in Espoo. And I will briefly tell you about the education system in Finland and what opportunities Espoo offers to study in English. And in Finland, children begin their schooling the year they turn 7. Besides mainstream Finnish or Swedish language education, Swedish language immersion schools, bilingual Finnish English, and full English programs are available. We also have preparatory education, which supports the Finnish language learning of pupils of different language and cultural groups. It's intended for 6 to 17-year-old children who do not yet know Finnish well enough to study in Finnish. Although there is much choice, most children attend their local school because all the municipal schools follow the renowned Finnish national core curriculum for basic education and offer the same quality education. In addition to learning, the Finnish education system holds the students' growth and well-being in high regard. Basic education is completely free of charge, and free school meals, student well-being services, as well as school health care are viewed as being central to growth. Each student is entitled to sufficient support for one's growth and learning. Support for learning and school-going is grounded in a 3-level model: general, intensified, and special support. Support is arranged in the context of general instruction as often as it promotes the student's best interest. Grades 1 to 6 make up the Finnish primary school and grades 7 to 9 middle school. Nowadays, there are also several comprehensive schools in Espoo, grades 1 to 9 under one roof, such as Espoo International School. And after the 9-year basic education, when students are 15 or 16, they may apply to either high schools or vocational schools. And there are also 2 high schools in Espoo which offer the IB diploma program in English. The upper secondary education usually lasts 3 years. The first national examination is at the end of general upper secondary education, so there is no standardized testing in basic education in Finland. The Finnish education system is famous for having no dead ends. Learners can always continue their studies on an upper level of education, whatever choices they make in between. As an example, it's possible to obtain a university master's degree by choosing to study a vocational qualification after basic education and continuing at a university of applied sciences. And finally, Espoo is home to Aalto University, where science meets art and business technology. Here are some key figures of education in Espoo. I want to further mention that in addition to the clubs and other hobby opportunities mentioned today, there is also a wide network of institutions offering goal-oriented basic education in the arts, for example, music schools. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. Regarding education for adults, this topic will be covered in one of the future Hello Espoo sessions. So that is in the pipeline, so to speak. Also, I think there's, if not now, but soon, a link to further information how you can also study Finnish or Swedish language courses. So I think that's now in the chat box. We are a bit behind schedule, but I think it would be really important to have a Q&A session with our speakers. So now I invite all of our speakers to look over there, because that's the camera we are on at the moment. I see there are a lot of questions on the chat box where Zama has been active, but I think we have had already in advance and probably already during the event a question for Elina about how can international communities get support from the city of Espoo, both for organizing visiting cultural sport events. So do you have a comment to this question?
Yes, international communities as well as any other ones can apply grants from Espoo Cultural Committee that awards grants from next February until August, almost every month. So you can easily apply online, and you just go to the website espoo.fi/grants, and all the information and application forms are found from there.
Wonderful, thank you. We also had a question to Camilo regarding sport and exercise. Is there some further information you would like to still point out or highlight on how to find the sport groups to join, in addition to what you presented, or maybe highlight again?
Yeah, the one was that I was talking about the free of charge groups.
Yeah,
that's very easy to go, but also I would say the gymnastic teachers at schools. What I remember when I was young, it was my neighbors. Espoo is pretty much the sports is pretty big thing in Espoo, I would say so. And also, of course, our sports service, we answer and are very happy to help people that try to find some sport group to join. And it's easy to also join nowadays. The sports, whatever sport it is, no matter what level you are, you always get into group, and you're welcome to all the clubs. And the informations went there.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Camilo. Is there any further questions regarding youth center activities in the chat box so far, or would we? I think there was a question that Ville already answered in the chat box. So if then. And I think there was about early childhood education, finding information. I think maybe that was covered already, or would you like to expand on that?
Yeah, I think the activities for 1 or 2 years old children I already told in my presentation about the residence parks and clubs and so on. So what about this finding a place and
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is a question that we do have very often by email or by phone. So that how can I find the units that are nearby our home? And we suggest you to go to website Espoon varhaiskasvatus.fi. You can find it in espoo.fi website, no worries. And then you can see the map in the front page where you can choose, you can write down your own home address there, choose the language and the length of the distance from your home to the desired units. And then you can choose the service need, like early childhood education or clubs. And on this map, you can see the nearest ones at your home. And then you can sign in there and so on. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. And I think we will catch this link still somewhere in the chat box as well. And I think there was also a question about the bilingual school classes in the city, and I think this was something Anne-Marie is on top of this topic. So
yes. So Espoo offers a broad palette of services for the international community, and this palette includes instruction in one's mother tongue in more than 40 languages, cultural guides, support for Finnish, etc. And at the moment, we have a bilingual comprehensive school in the Leppävaara school district, and Espoo will review all the services that they have, and they do that continuously. And at the moment, there are no plans to begin an additional bilingual program in the Leppävaara school district.
Okay, thanks for that. Thanks so much for the active questions in the chat box and in advance. And again, once more, I would like to emphasize that the Hello Espoo Facebook group is the place to keep an eye on. So we will be providing information gradually to the questions that you have presented us. This September, related to the Facebook group, we have launched a competition for the group members to share their experiences and thoughts and feelings about living in Espoo. So I think now is a good time to have a quick look at what kinds of thoughts and input we got from you.
I moved to Finland about 10 years ago. It is possible for some Australian to survive for 10 years in Finland.
me, everything starts from Espoo because I first came here to study in Aalto. People's very friendly. They know that you're a student and you wanted to start something and they're really willing to help you.
If you talk about innovation in Finland, I think we are standing in the place where it is actually happening.
And Espoo is like a place, for me it is good to be with the family. It's a good balance for me.
The midnight sun and then the nice weather and then the sea and so on. I was like, oh, this is so beautiful city and oh, I wish I could live here.
I think Espoo is a great place to live because you have everything nearby, you know, whatever you want to do.
Here in office we have 14 nationalities right now, and Finland's the happiest place to live for immigrants.
So, I hope you enjoyed the video. At least I did very much. Thank you for all these stories that you have shared. Well, I hope we have been able to convince you that we want to build a diverse and fair and inclusive city together with you. For example, this event is one of the efforts that we are taking to serve our international citizens better. There will be a website renewal coming up where also information not only to English speakers but to all the residents will be organized in a more accessible way. And one very important activity that we have taken on to develop our services better in English is a so-called town hall meeting concept. It has been piloted this year. In the beginning of the year, we had the first town hall meeting that was focusing on the city employment services, and the second was focusing on city planning in the Leppävaara area. And we have 3 more town hall meeting events coming up. I think you have them now on the screen, the dates that they will be taking place by the end of the year. We really hope that as many of you as possible will be able to join these town hall meetings. So it's now time for us to conclude our session. We're a little bit over time, but a warm thank you for everyone who stayed with us all this time, and we really appreciate all the comments and questions that you have given us, and we'll respond. And hopefully we can get still some feedback from you before we break off. There is, I think now there is in the chat box a link to a survey form just to give us some immediate feedback on how we did today and what we could do better in the future events. And feel also free to suggest topics for the next events. Would it be services for entrepreneurs and companies, or collaboration with NGOs and associations, health and social services, etc., etc. So please do provide us your preferences, and we hope we do our best to accommodate them. Thank you to all the speakers today. This was a very fun experience organizing this kind of an event online, practicing as I think many of us are now, all these new digital platforms. I think with this I conclude. I thank the speakers, I thank the participants, I thank the team for organizing this, and wish you all a very lovely autumn. Stay healthy and stay happy. Thank you. Bye bye.